Phone records in 4K?
Yeah, it's
That's the 8, right?
Alright, that's
just the 6S.
key to my success.
Thanks. All right, tell us a little about your internship and experience.
So we both came to Argentina to do an internship with the civil society org called FIC Argentina, which is essentially the Inter-American Heart Foundation that's based here in Buenos Aires. The internship was about public health, and the organization does a lot in terms of public health and working with people in Congress, throwing volunteer events, spreading awareness, that kind of thing.
So we each individually had a project to work on. It was a research project, and my research project was based around getting the basic information that we need for FIC to be able to push for a national improvement plan for physical activity in all of Argentina. So it was just getting the basic information that they would need to then start the process, get the people gathered around Buenos Aires and around the state, and start a push to create this physical activity plan that already exists in a couple countries.
And then the specific project I was working on had to do with how can FIC work to improve physical activity and physical education in primary and secondary schools in Argentina, since here in Argentina that's a huge problem. There's a big lack of physical activity and physical education for the kids in most schools. So I put together a policy recommendation, and at the end of the 8 weeks with FIC, got to do a whole presentation in front of some of the bigger people who worked there, and it was all in Spanish, which was a really cool thing to do.
All right. And where did you stay, and how was it?
So we stayed with our Argentine father. His name was Ramiro, and we're not actually related. But after 2 months that we spent here, he was pretty much family to us. It was an amazing place to stay. It was right in the heart of San Telmo, which is the oldest barrio in Buenos Aires. And it was pretty close to pretty much everything we wanted to do. You quick hop onto the subte, and you could get pretty much anywhere throughout the city, whether it took a little bit or you could get there in 45 minutes. It was all pretty close and pretty accessible.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Ramiro was a wonderful host. He always made us feel welcome. We went out to dinner with him a few times, met a couple of his friends and family. He was a great cook too, hosted us for dinner a few times at his house. And it was a really good experience. Thanks to him, Buenos Aires began to feel like home a lot quicker than it could have.
All right, so what do you guys think were the keys that made your experience here positive?
I think the first one is food. We can both agree on this. We spent a lot more money than we expected on food. When we traveled, when we traveled to South America, we expected, okay, our meals, we'll spend about $20 a day. That's reasonable. That's a decent dinner. That's lunch and breakfast. We can make it cheap. We can cook a lot. We had more dinners than we can count that were $25 and up. So the amount of money that we spent was surprising, but the food made everything better here. The hamburgers in particular. Empanadas
and ice cream and just, delicious food. And the people that we met here were pretty incredible too. So that is anyone from people we met through our host, people we met in the Road program, our coordinators, their friends, people we met at our Spanish school that Road hosted us in that first week and we continued with because we loved it so much. Honestly, the people here made this place so much better, and we came to love Buenos Aires.
Cool. So would you guys recommend Road to a friend?
I would definitely recommend Road to a friend. I think I've talked to a lot of people that have studied abroad in the past, and they've had a lot of similar programs that have given them the support that they needed. But I think what Road adds is a couple of guys that you can really get along with and you can really interact with, leading a great program that's you spend a lot of time with the people in the program, but you also get the resources that you need to succeed in the internship and get great housing placements. So it's not only a successful program, but also amazing people to help you kind of feel a little bit more at home while you're really far away from home.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it too, for a lot of the same reasons. Our coordinators have been fantastic, and it's really well-rounded in that, like, yes, it's great for your career and the stuff you came here to do too, but it's nice that you actually get to enjoy the place that you're in with people that you meet through the Road program. One of the things I really liked is Road does weekly events where they take you out to try and like experience the culture and the city a little better, and so that was some of my favorite times in Buenos Aires were some of those weekly events that we did, and so I really loved the program.
All right, so then last but not least, what is your just like favorite one memory each from Argentina?
So after we spent our time in Buenos Aires, so we had 2 months in Buenos Aires, we spent 6 weeks traveling throughout Patagonia, so started in Bariloche, ended up in Ushuaia. But during Torres del Paine, we did 8 days there, did a trek. There was a short trek, just about an hour and a half, up past Refugio Grey. And I live in the mountains in the United States. I've done a lot of hiking in my life, but it was by far one of my favorite hikes I've ever done in my life. Just amazing sitting up there, looking over the southern Patagonia ice field and seeing the wind, or feeling the wind blowing in your face, and basically looking over the most beautiful place in the world was definitely an amazing experience for me.
Yeah, for me, it would probably also be during that stretch of 6 weeks that we were traveling through Patagonia. There was one part where we were in Bariloche and we decided to just sort of randomly do this 4-day bike trip between Bariloche and San Martin on that really famous Ruta de los Siete Lagos, which is this beautiful road that goes through all of this lake district between Bariloche and San Martin. And it's nice to drive through, but we decided to do the bike trip just so we could be more in the outdoors, you know, camp every night, cook, that kind of thing. And so the first night that we got to the campsite, it was pouring and it was cold, and we were like, oh gosh, like it's dark already, we need to cook, all this stuff. But we met these other Argentines who were also doing the road by bike, and a couple who were doing it by car. And, you know, they offered us their fire and a place to cook, come warm up, that kind of thing. And after that, they became really good friends with us, and we ended up traveling with them the rest of the way. And I just thought that was super cool that you can meet random people on the road, you know, and like end up being good friends and traveling together and getting to know each other. And that trip ended up being one of the best things I've ever done, and I really loved it.
All right, thank you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, cool, thanks.
Raise a glass of water.